We are here. Oh, wait, hold on. All right. We're here. You know what? Can I change the orientation of this? No. No. Okay. Hello, everybody. Oh my gosh. What is going on here? Okay. We're here. We're in the garage. The volume is crap. Okay? I'm sorry. We're in the garage. I got some orders in. So I'm gonna make them and talk nonsense like usual. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Okay, what is going on in the world? Happy Friday. Let's see what's going on in my world. School is out for my little one. So we gotta figure out what to do for the summer. That's what's going on in my life. Kid activities going on in the summertime. That's what's going on. I feel it's really interesting to see how childhood is completely different. Because I remember my childhood, summertime was basically me being locked up inside my house, and that was that. And just trying to find things to do at home. But I feel like kids these days, their lives are so planned out that they don't have time for anything. They don't have time for that. And I don't know. I can't tell if it's a good thing or a bad thing to have such like scheduled lives. You never know that random thing that you fall into that sparks your interest down the road. I think that's one thing that kids these days are missing out on. They're missing out on spontaneity. Spontaneity is missing. That's what they're missing. Spontaneity. But everything is so. At least in the area that I'm in, maybe someone can talk more about the area that they're in, and if they have kids or not. That do you feel like kids these days are so regimented on what they have to do every day? It's just maybe it's just the area that I'm in. I don't know. Okay, what's going on today? I saw in the news today that apparently someone, well, it's not someone, most likely Ukraine, tried to take out Putin when he was visiting the front lines. I thought that was really interesting news that I saw today. If you guys don't know, basically, Russia recaptured some land. Putin decided to go visit, like show face, show that he's around, whatever. And I guess when he was flying in, a bunch of drones, I think they said around like 45 of them, around 45 drones basically flew at his plane helicopter thing, and then they started shooting them down. But it makes me think about my first thought about this whole thing is, it'd be very cool, I think. I wonder. Okay, so when I saw this news that they're flying drones at Putin's ship, right, to basically explode, you know what I was thinking? I was thinking about, the drone, when drones first came out, they had those drone racers, right? I'm pretty sure that's still a thing where they race along and, they go through like hoops and stuff. You know what I was wondering? Right now, drone warfare is basically a drone with a grenade on there, right? They fly the drone with the grenade, and then they go kaboom. I was wondering, I'm pretty sure someone in the Pentagon or somewhere thought of this. Why don't they make a tiny drone? I'm pretty sure they can, a really small one that's really hard to shoot, and just have a tiny, like a knife at the end of it or something. You know what I mean? And then you get one of those pilots that are speed racer pilots, right? And then you speed racer, and it's got a knife, and it just goes right into the person. I feel like someone can talk to this. Do you feel like that is a more effective way to take somebody out, or the grenade? Because the issue with the grenade drone, I feel like, is that it's big. It's bigger, and it's easier for them to shoot them down. But if you have tiny drone with a little like blade on there, I'm wondering, is that better? Like you have, I'm talking about like a drone like this big. I'm pretty sure someone's thought of this. A drone this big with a little point on there, and you just go, and then you get like one of those speed racer pilots, and then they can like maneuver it around. Like imagine trying to. Oh, that was okay with AI. Okay, I got it. I got it. We got it. We got it. With AI, I'm pretty sure they could do this. You you launch a missile, right? I know they already have those like ones that were like they shoot a bunch of little bombs that come out, but I'm wondering you shoot a little hive missile and then it shoots out a bunch of these little tiny. I'm talking about because I'm thinking they're going all wrong. They're going for like big explosion like kaboomy, but I wonder if you just hive missile a bunch of little tiny drones and then they just lock on to a target and then they go and they're all tiny and it would make it so hard for them to shoot. I feel like that's way more effective than launching a bunch of big grenade drones. What do you guys think? Because it would be impossible for you to take them all out. Right. Oh, that would be really cool. Like you can make homing drones. Like uh, this reminds me of I was thinking about I talked about this yesterday. The Tesla taxi, and there was something that I left out. Uh, they said that supposedly, so there's about 20. The fleet is about 20, and they said for now, they're gonna have people monitoring the fleet of robo Tesla taxis, and people were saying, aren't they just driving them then? And so, is it really autonomous, or you're just entrusting some other guy to remote drive the Tesla taxis? Because I know that was a thing that they were talking about with those. Was it the Tesla robots? But it was another robot thing where the people were saying that they were just remote controlling them, and I wonder if that's what they're gonna be doing, where they're like it. This reminds me also of the DNA lady. If you guys remember where she said that they were gonna do rapid DNA testing like the same day, but what ended up happening was they were just sending it off to a lab to do it. And then it was a whole scheme and then they got caught. Oh, it kind of reminds me of that. I don't know. But that's crazy. I. Oh my. What? It must be a thing. I'm pretty sure some at least some movie will come up with will bring it out and then someone will be like, you know what, that is a good idea. I'm tiny drones with a blade at the end. And then you just fly it and maybe it's got some NOS boosters in the back, and maybe once you lock onto the target, like it flies and so you can maneuver it around, and then once you lock onto the target, or at least you kind of like line it up, it like goes super speed as fast as it can straight, or with slight adjustments, so it's like little homing little drones. It's totally possible. I bet you they have this already. I know. I'm so certain they have this already. It seems pretty easy to do, no? It seems pretty easy to do. What else is going on this Friday? I don't know. I kind of talked about the whole visa thing yesterday. We can talk about it some more. Do you guys really want to talk about it? We could talk about the trade war thing. Talked about that yesterday. We could talk about that some more. The visa thing, I do find kind of interesting though. Like if you want to expand on it a little more, I think the main thing that I'm thinking about that is that I think what I said yesterday about the student visa thing, especially like targeting like let's just say China or whatever, is that I feel like when they go to school here, and they're talking about oh they're stealing our secrets, but they're also contributing to the secrets. Unless they're just like, imagine you get like the foreign exchange student, right? And somehow they make it up to some secret nuclear program, right? They're most likely contributing too. They're working, right? You're not gonna have I got the foreign researcher or whatever, or at least learning, and then they're just like, no, just have them in the corner, not doing anything, just watching us. No, they're probably doing something too. But I think my thing about it, at least in my experience with uh, I guess dealing with foreign students or just seeing them around, is that to me, when I at least when I travel around and I hear that they studied in America or they've been here a few times, is that it builds a soft spot in their heart for America. That's I think that's the main thing that we gain. Well, besides the money, okay, it's crazy how much more money that the foreign students spend on colleges than we do. On like than Americans do. Like for the exact same education, I always remember speaking with some international students, and they will say like, "Oh, we paid this much," and I was thinking, to go here, to go to school with me. I I wonder, do they think they made a bad decision when they feel like they paid like 6 times more uh like tuition money to go to school with this idiot here. Like I always wonder, do they think about that? They're like, because sometimes you have group projects and you get a international student in your group project, right? And you they carry a lot of the work because and then they're like, these guys are idiots and I pay 3 4 times more to go to school with this idiot. I wonder if there's like resentment set in there. um but yeah, okay, back to what I was talking about. I mentioned this yesterday, okay? It builds a soft spot in their hearts for America. So for example, Kim Jong-un went to school here in America and he loves Western stuff. And you gotta think to yourself, if he didn't go to school here in America, what would what would it be like right now? Would he be more willing to launch an attack, like a more of a direct attack on something, or at least be a little more unhinged if he didn't go to school in America? I think that's one thing that I think about sometimes when I think about foreign students coming here, especially like high profile ones. What's his name? I wonder if they're listening to this right now, and if I say his name, like, I get shadow banned more. Well, we're gonna say it, okay? Xi Jinping, his daughter, and I bet you some China bots are listening right now. Xi Jinping, his daughter, went to school here in America. So I wonder, does she have, like, that's what I'm saying, like, a soft spot a little bit where she made some American friends? You're less likely to go to war when you know your friend Jenny, uh, your good friend Jenny, the friend that you made when you were here, when you came over and you didn't know anybody, and Jenny was nice, and you're like, oh, maybe maybe I don't bomb Wyoming because that's where Jenny's from, right? Or you tell Jenny that you're gonna go attack, and then Jenny's like, what? You're gonna take out my parents? And then you're like, do with the information what you want, Jenny. The attack is coming tomorrow. And Jenny tells somebody, and then boom, Jenny becomes a hero. And the only reason that happened is because one of these students came to America, became friends with Jenny, and she told, Jenny to, hey, maybe you don't want to be in New York today. Oh, okay. This brings me to my next thought. We always hear about foreign students spying or getting information from our universities, companies, or whatever, right? I feel like I was thinking about this yesterday. It's just a thought that occurred to me. And you gotta think about like what the media looks like in some of these other countries. Like in China, when I was over there, their media is like literally bashing us all the time, and saying how great they are, how great China is, and then they're bashing us. That's one. Two, um, what's very interesting about Chinese commercials? I have to say this is I don't know why. When I was over there, I was watching their TV, and what I thought was very interesting about Chinese commercials is like literally nine. I don't want to say 90. I want to say a good chunk of their commercials, like product commercials, is running it over with a car. Like or throw like basically showing how durable this thing is. And I'm like, I was talking to my in-laws, and I was like, why do they do this? And they're just showing like, oh, just to show you that it's not cheap. It's made of high quality stuff. But I'm like, this is so silly. Like it would be literally like, oh, look, check out this TV. You can get it for this price at this place, and look how good it is. And they'll throw it off a building. Like, look, see, the TV still works. And then, or they'll throw it into the street and a car will run over it. And they're like, look, the TV still works. And then I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird. Why would your TV be on the street like that? But okay, to each his own. And then it'll be something else. It'll be like, check out my water flask. Like you can get for this price at this place. Look how good it is. And then they'll throw it off a roof and like, see? And then they'll run it over with a car and be like, what? It's still good. Like, what does that have to do with anything? It's everything. It's all their commercials. It's basically throwing it off a roof and then running it over with a car. Like it's everything. So I thought that was very interesting. That their commercials are basically just running things over with the cars, and it's very old school advertising. What else that I was thinking about the foreign students? Oh, okay. This is my point. Sorry, I got distracted. I'm trying to make this apron and talk to you guys, and it's not a apron set that gets ordered very often, so I gotta make sure it don't mess up. Okay, don't mess up. That's the goal. All right. So this is what I was thinking last night. Is that so? That's their TV, right? At least the TV in China, it's always like, it's propaganda stuff to show you how great China is and how idiots some other parts of the country is. You know what's not in the news in America very often, that I feel like this needs to be a thing, is that okay? So you hear the stories of like foreign adversaries coming over and they do some espionage and they get some secrets, or they're going to school here or whatever. We don't have any of those stories where Americans go into a foreign place and get secrets for us. I don't know why I was thinking about this thing. That's what we need. We need more of that. Like, there are no stories where Americans go somewhere and they're a foreign exchange student getting into, I don't know, the German chocolate factory and learning how to make German chocolate and coming back with German chocolate secrets and be like, hey, I got the secrets for y'all. And then Germany is like, yo, that's our secret. These Americans are coming, they're taking all of our chocolate secrets. You know, no more Americans can work in the chocolate factory. There are no there's no stories like that. So that's what I thought was very interesting. So we need to step up our game, I guess, and send our. Okay, now I'm thinking about it more. Okay, this goes back to what I was talking about yesterday as well. That American education, at least from elementary school to high school, is trash. Right? It's our college system that is better than a lot of the other countries. That's why they send students here to learn from American colleges, because a lot of the other nations, they what they do is they're basically teaching ahead, right? They teach ahead, and then so it makes their kids down, like from the elementary to high school level, seem smarter, right? It's just that in America we've added these, like, I guess, like roadblocks or walls, barriers, and you want to get to the good stuff, you want to get to the other side, right? And then so that's basically what's going on. That's I think that's the main difference here. While over there, it's kind of like, oh, it's out there, and they seem smarter. It's because they've learned a little bit more at a younger age. But once they get past that, at least in my experience in dealing with some Japanese people or Chinese people, is that they, the next level to them is because they did so much learning at the high school level. They don't learn as much in college because they've already did a good chunk of it already in high school. And so that's why they want to send their kids here to go to school in America, because our college system is better than their college system. That being said, I was thinking about why aren't we sending? Because what would be very interesting is, how we're the move right now is to ban foreign. I understand the move is to, these foreigners are coming in and they're taking a college spot that can go to somebody else, right? That's in America. But but what I see is like, but these foreigners, they pay more, and that allows the Americans to pay less to go to college. But why aren't we sending? Because imagine if we start sending our high schoolers out more to go learn some secrets. Like, imagine if we had more uh, foreigners go to China and they're like, these Americans are trying to steal our Chinese secrets, and they're like, no, these idiots. Because I think the issue is that a lot of Americans won't be able to test in to these universities, because that's also a big thing too, is that in America you can pay money to attend the colleges, right? But a lot of these other places, you have to really, 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 really test in, and it's fully on your academic level. All right, this one, chill and grill, very simple. Dunsies. Dunsies single apron, Dunsie onesies. But imagine the hero that you would be if you were a foreign exchange student in another country and you got some secrets and you come back. They're like, yeah, this guy is a pioneer. Maybe we'll go and learn how to make drones with blades on them. Alright, what else is going on in the world? Oh, wrong one. See, gotta make sure. That's good. Oh, here we go. Match the color. Alright. What else is going on in the world? I mean, the news is just filled. I literally go in, I wake up in the morning and I just see news feed, and it's literally there's like 4 or 5 main stories going on right now. It's someone tried to take out Putin, trade war stuff, Elon, and Diddy. That's literally my news feed, and that's basically it. Diddy, someone tried to take out Putin, and Diddy news. Okay, you know what I found out about the Diddy thing that I'm probably gonna do a deeper dive on later because I want to actually see what the odds are. Supposedly, you can make, you could take, you can make bets on the outcome of the Diddy case, which that's crazy. Because if you actually break it down, and it's stuff like, oh, how long is the trial gonna be? Is he gonna be guilty? You could do a parlay basically on what counts it. How many of the counts are gonna stick? Is this gonna happen? Is that gonna happen? What I find interesting about this is basically you can now take a stake in what is going on in someone else's life. That is wild. That's oh my goodness. Okay. I got it. If anyone is out there that's a programmer or um, knows how to use, I guess, ChatGPT very well, I'm telling you, this is the move right now. This is $1 billion idea that I'm gonna just right. Okay, the Diddy thing, you can already. I think I don't even know what site it is, and we're not even gonna say because they're not listening. Since you can make propositions or whatever on the outcome of the Diddy case, and it's stuff like how long if he's gonna get convicted. It's all anything that could happen. Basically, they have odds on it, and you can put something down on it. Okay, this is my idea now. Okay, well, how about a live version of this for random people? I think that's actually really funny. So I'm imagining how this would work. Okay, work with me. It's an app. It's got a camera, right? And you like let's say you're at a park, and you could live stream, boom boom, right? And you put your own money in. Oh, this is gonna work. This is gonna work. It's like crowdsourcing at the same time. You put your own money in. Let's say I put $10 down, and you're live streaming into let's say a park, and let's just say it's a dad and a son playing catch, right? And you're live streaming, right? And you put $10 in, and then you're like, oh, how many throws are they gonna do back and forth in the next minute? And you set out that offer, and then someone takes it, and then you guys come up real quick and be like, hey, 10 plus or minus, right? 10 or more throws in the next minute, and someone goes bet, and another person goes bet, and then you guys go head to head. I'm telling you, this is totally possible, and people are just going to be going around town making propositions. This is how you get around AI. Because down the road, once AI takes our jobs, we're all just gonna be sitting around uh, doing propositions, and that's how everyone's gonna be making money down the road. Just like, I bet you this. But do you think this is possible? I feel like this is a great idea. I mean, morally, it doesn't seem like a great idea, but someone out there is gonna do this. Okay, just picture it again with me. Uh, you're on an overpass now, freeway, cars coming. You're on a bridge, cars, and then you live stream or just yeah, you live stream. It has to be live. It's authenticated live, and you're like in the next 5 minutes, how many red cars you think are gonna go by, and then you're like, I put $5 in. I say it's gonna be 10 cars, and then another guy goes, I think it's gonna be 9, and you're like, okay, let's go, $9. Right, 9 red cars, $5, and then the minute goes by, right, and then boom, oh, I'm telling you, this is gonna work. Sporting events, kids sporting events now, live, right? You're at a kids sporting event. It's hours long. There's nothing to do. Basically, watching terrible basketball, terrible soccer, or whatever, and you have this thing. Someone come up with a name for it, but basically, you you live stream, right? And you're like, who wins this game? Red shirts or blue shirts? And then you're like, $5 on red shirt, $5 on blue, and then you as the host, trying to make this work. You as the host, you're the house, and you get a fee from just making it, and everyone else puts their money in, pulls it together, and it separates. And then if you're the one that are doing the thing, you maybe you get like a 1% house fee or something like that. Yeah, I'm telling you, that's the future. Someone is gonna come up with that. I feel like it's gonna work because they're already doing that with the Diddy case. It's just that I feel like they can expand it more and do it live, some way. Someone come up with a name for it, or do you think it's gonna work? I feel like it could work. Yeah. All right. That's the last one. All right. Sweet. The other one was spicy. All right, spicy. Couple sequence, right? The set goes together. Thought process on this: why sell one when you can sell two? You know what I mean? All right. Sorry, I'm just checking my messages. Okay. And I think that is it for making stuff. Ja. That's it for making stuff. Okay. We gotta pack it. Shipping it out. Oh, I like that idea. I feel like I just gave away a $1 billion idea. Because right now I feel like everyone's already, at least with like the emergence. Sorry if I'm walking around. With the emergence of like DraftKings, Prize Picks, and all the other prop bet trading apps or whatever, that it's totally a thing that you can totally do. You're the house and you control it. I don't know. This is what happens when you we're live and you're just coming up with ideas and oh my gosh, did I drop something? All right. You're just coming up with ideas. That's the other thing I saw. It was this was yesterday. Somebody is selling more bath water. One of those hottie bodies out there selling bath water. I'm so jealous of I guess the ability of hottie bodies to just here it is. This shipping label. That is so unfair. I don't think you guys realize how much harder it is to come up with what I think is interesting talking points and topics, while a hottie body can sit and sell bathwater. And I'm trying to remember exactly who it was. Basically, they're taking her bathwater and they're turning it into it's a Sydney Sweetie, whatever her name is. They're one of the companies is taking her bathwater and turning it into a soap. So it's Sweetie bath water soap. And I'm like, oh, that's crazy. I wish I could do that. Okay, next brilliant idea. You know how ladies like the smell of guys? Like, you know, like the musk smell, whatever? Okay, I got it. Okay, next idea. The Rock. The Rock bath water spray. Like, just think about this, okay? If the hottie bodies can sell bath water, guys, we need to support each other, and you need to get some Dwayne Wayne, if you're out there, Mr. Rock, if you're out there, rock spray. Kevin Hart's spray. Bathwater mist. You know how the ladies they have the face mist? Oh my, that's a great feeling, by the way. The face mist. Kevin Hart bathwater face mist. Shaquille O'Neal. Oh my gosh. Okay, someone out there, if you ever see this and you think it's a funny, great idea, and if you just happen to know Shaquille O'Neal, the Diesel, all right, the greatest center there ever was, okay? And I know he loves to support all kinds of random products. Shaquille O'Neal bath water mist spray for the ladies. That would, I feel like that would move a lot of units. What do you guys think? Okay, because it's not fair that hottie bodies can basically take a bath and then sell the water to. Here's the other thing. You don't even know if that is actually the hottie body's bathwater or if that's just human bathwater. Right? So if that's the case, why can't we just do it with all the celebrities? If that's the goal, right? The celebrities. Who else would support this? Ryan Reynolds? I think he's big on random endorsements. Ryan Reynolds, Deathpool, bathwater. If they do another Deathpool movie, and Ryan Reynolds, if you're on the internet and you just happen to come across this random video, Ryan Reynolds Deathpool bathwater mist spray, Deadpool's edition would be great marketing. Or I'm telling you, any comedy movie that's coming out, bathwater, mist spray, but for the guys. It would be hilarious. All right, I'm gonna end it here. I have to pack, and we'll be back later with more news or just whatever random things going on today. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you.